This is a short audio about some basic topics that are very, very important. I'm going to talk about hosting and what your website is and domain name registrars, as well as what is a domain name. Now, a domain name is the name of your website. So if you're abclaw.com, that's your domain name, www.abclaw.com. When you buy your domain name, you buy it from a domain name registrar. These are places like GoDaddy, Network Solutions, Wild West Domains, Register.com. There's many, many companies that will let you buy a domain name. Now, that's only half of the equation in getting a website going. The other half is to have what's called hosting. Now, if you picture your website literally as a bunch of files on someone's computer, because that's all it is, a host is a company with computers that are hooked up to the internet that said, we'll take the files that make up your website and we'll put them live up on the internet. Okay, so you have your domain name registrar where you bought your domain name, and the hosting company that's going to take your website files and put them live on the web. Now, this can be the same company. This is where confusion comes. If it's the same company, great. Then the place where you have your domain and the place where it's going to be hosted are the same place, and you don't have to do much of anything to get your website live. If they're different companies, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So your hosting company, let's say you're with Bluehost or HostGator. So they're going to agree to host your website. They're going to put it live on the web. But they don't know what your website name is. So you have to go to your domain name registrar, and within that account, you got to tell them, all right, this is my domain name, but I want you to look here to find my website files. Look to the host, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna put in the domain name servers. These are essentially the names of the computers that are going to be putting your site live on the web. So there's usually two of them, and they'll have the format like this: ns1.bluehost555.com and ns2.bluehost555.com. There's usually one and then a backup one. So within your registrar account, you'll want to say, all right, I'm going to point to someone's name servers. I'm going to point to the company that has my website files and tell them, all right, work with my registrar company and get them live on the web. So this is how all this stuff works. So here's what's important about this. Let's say you have a company that's working with you, an SEO vendor, whoever, and they're hosting your website, and you want to change companies. All you'd have to do is go into your domain name registrar company's account and change the name servers, change where you're going to host this thing. So let's say you buy your own account with, Wild West Hosting, okay? You go into your domain name registrar account and you change the name servers to the Wild West Hosting ones. The Wild West Hosting will be given to you. Your site will be taken off your current vendor's host and onto your account, and that's it. You just got to make sure your files are with the new host so they're ready to go live on the web, but the other place goes dark and you're all good. So what this says is you may not be hosting your site, which is okay, but as long as you own your own domain name, you're safe because you have control of your own destiny and your website. If you don't own your own domain name, or if it's leased or rented from some company, well, now you've really got nothing because they have control of everything. So I hope this makes it a little bit clearer what is hosting and what are domain names. Last thing before I go, people wonder about the cost of hosting. Hosting is dirt cheap nowadays. There's many, many companies. This is all they do. I'm sure all of you guys know GoDaddy. They host countless millions of websites. For an attorney's website, which is not that big and there's not tons of traffic to it, usually anywhere from like $8 to $15 per month is plenty to pay for hosting. You can get hosting almost anywhere for that amount. So if a company's charging you $100 a month or $200 a month, or there's a big hosting cost hidden somewhere and they're telling you, oh, it's very difficult to host the site, well, that's a bunch of BS. It's dirt cheap, it's ubiquitous, and you really want to have your own hosting account. So again, in summary, I hope this helps and clears this up for you. Take care.